surgery. They then need additional procedures to deal with the leftover hanging skin and fat that can get infected and be uncomfortable for patients.
We've seen exponential growth in this area.
ASPS President Dr. Scott Glassberg explains.
We start with the trunk and or the breast.
He says breast lifts are up 10% and thigh and upper arm lifts are up 9%. Glassberg says the benefits far outweigh the risks of such surgeries. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Tracy Morgan tells NBC's Today Show he remembers nothing about the New Jersey limo crash last year that left him in a coma and killed a friend. Morgan says when he saw a video of his friend James McNair's funeral on YouTube, he lost it for about a week. He says now he has good days and bad days. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Do you know where you are? Silly question, right?
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240. Live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, it's Nooganomics with David Toulis.
Is local economy cheering because of the temporary demise of the Patriot Act? Or is local economy dour, unhappy, fretful, fearful because of the dangers the loss of this law implies? If you read the shrill prognostications from the backers of this statute, which was passed in 2001, just after the 2001 actions in New York and Washington, we have fear abounds. Fear abounds. There's a quote in a story from from the Chattanoogan.com website, quoting Lamar Alexander and Bob Corker. Both men are in favor of the security apparatus. They prove our argument that when we elect any federal official, what happens is the following. He goes to Washington thinking he represents us, and then over the course of some months, there's a slow pivoting around, and he no longer represents us except in his marketing materials, but he, in fact, represents them to us. And here is what Corker and Alexander are doing. Well, this is David Toulis, and our show is Nooganomics.com. Here's what they're saying. Hopefully, during this time of heightened threats from terrorists, Lamar Alexander says the Senate will strengthen the legislation and provide greater protection to the American people. Of course, it's understood that it can only be done by an unconstitutional and illegal law. Corker says, not only am I deeply concerned about the way the administration has limited the effectiveness of this critical national security program, but I'm also extremely disappointed lawmakers allowed a lapse in our ability to hunt down terrorists plotting against Americans. Congress should restore these intelligence capabilities in a manner that can still be effective and robust to keep Americans safe while continuing to respect our cherished civil liberties. Of course, that last phrase is just he's remembering suddenly that whether the people he's facing, those whom he pretends to represent, that they have to hear that reference because they want him to be aware that they cherish certain liberties. But of course, these are not constitutional liberties. They're just civil liberties, right? Civil liberties being those which are created by statute and not necessarily inherent to the individual. And so we have this we have a lot of fear mongering on the part of the good people, of whom Alexander and Mr. Corker and Mr. Alexander are part of. And we have a lot of sort of noisy, fearsome language from the White House. In a story in the Intercept, we're told that we're in uncharted waters. And another one says, we have not had to confront addressing the terrorist threat without these authorities, and it's going to be fraught with unnecessary risk. And in the Intercept story about